Hold on, I gotta say I got it. Okay, where was it? We never want to do too many K exercises because it's just like going to the gym after you haven't been there in a long time. That muscle is very sensitive. We don't want to do too many K exercises, but just enough to help ourselves. It's just enough to get that muscle working. The next exercise you're going to do is just nice and easy, even easier, which will be ma, M as in Mary. We'll get a little low. So ma, 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 ma. So it'll be ma, 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 all in one breath. Ma, 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 ma. And if you notice, it's not too much flapping. Ma, 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 ma. Ma, 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 ma. Make sure we're breathing from our core. Some of you can see that you're lifting up your shoulders. Make sure that we're really expanding like that big old yoga breath. Good. Go up a couple more. Sorry. One more. Ma, 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 ma. Good. Sorry, I'm having a little delay on my computer. Okay, so the next exercise, does it sound delayed to you guys? Somebody put your thumb up or thumb down. Sounds okay? Okay. The next one you're going to do, these are what we call kind of a cool down part of the exercise, which is going to be like the word sing, thing, or hung, the NG at the end of those words. Now, the NG is almost impossible if you sing it correctly to sing it in your throat. So it sounds really funny and it really buzzes the front part of our nasopharynx, which is right here on either side of the nose and right underneath the nose. So it does sound kind of muffled, but it's an excellent exercise, especially if you're just coming back from something. So it's going to be just going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you notice, the tip of my tongue is behind my bottom teeth. The back part of my mouth tongue is touching the roof of my mouth. Always with that lovely lift. So if you don't know if you did it right or not, the difference is this. If you say the word sing and hold just the NG at the end, sing, that's the NG. And it sounds, like I said, it sounds really funny, but that's what it is. So now what we're going to do is the same thing. We're going to do the NG again, and it's going to be. So you're going to do a little bit of an arpeggio. So it'll be. You want to make sure that's connected and legato. that's the end of that part of it. There's two more to do. And this is going to be a little strange sounding, but it's NG. So it sounds like ning, N-I-N-G. But it's going to be with a vowel. The first vowel is going to be E. So N-I-N-G-E-E. The G sound is soft and it's not hard. So let me do this first. So it's not ningy, 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 ningy. It's not that. It's this. Ningy, 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 ningy. Okay, here we go. Ningy, 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 ningy. With a lift. Ningy, 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 ningy. Ah. Ningy, 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 ningy. 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 Excuse me. One more, sorry. If you're like me, I start warming up, my nose runs. Okay, so the same exercise is going to be ning-ah. Same thing. Make sure that G is not hard. Ning-ah, 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 ning-ah. 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 We're at that break, head tone. Ning-ah, 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 ning-ah. Ning-ah, 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 ning-ah. Ning-ah, 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 ning-ah. Good breath. Ning-ah, 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 ning-ah. Ning-ah, ning-ah, ning-ah. One more. Good. Okay. Good. Now, the next thing I want you to do is, I know it feels opposite of what you think you should be doing, but I'd like you to actually now go to a little bit of a stretch, which is going to be, everybody's just going to look over to your right. Get your head as far as you can without hurting yourself. You're going to come back to the center. You're going to go now to your left. And you're going to stretch as far as you can without, if you have neck issues, be careful. You're going to come back to the center. Now we're going to look up again as far as you can and come back down to the center. Now you're going to go downward and you're going to take your other hand and you're just going to push your head forward a little bit, again, being very careful, and come back up to the center. Now you're going to take your two fingers, you're going to put them right at the hinge of your jaw and relax your jaw like you're ready to go to sleep. And you're going to just rub the hinge of your jaw. Good job. And now we're going to just try to make silly faces and open our mouth as big as we can. With that, if you have TMJ, do not do this. You see my coffee tongue? And then we're going to smile really wide. Relax the face. Stick your tongue out. Bring it back in. Grit your teeth again. And relax. Good. Excellent. Okay. So normally what you might want to do is do all of that prior to singing, except that if you've been sick again, or have had laryngitis, or you haven't been singing in a while, we're going to start with that Ba-E exercise, and then you move on. So it's a warm up down to a cool down to a relaxing stretch. Okay, good. So the next part we're going to talk about is, and I'm going to give some time to, I believe, for questions and any discussion about vocal production, because you've got me captive. So the next part is we're going to talk a little bit about the mask and the benefits actually of singing in a mask. Most people will say, I don't feel that's beneficial. It bothers me. I don't want to do it. Okay. However, some of the things we've noticed as directors and as musical leaders is that actually when we're wearing the mask, okay, if you look where the mask is landing on me, it's just like I did on that phi exercise. It's just like I did on that exercise. Notice that my jaw is not flapping. Here's my mask. It's going back here, right? So it kind of keeps that singing space more stationary. When we start singing on the outside space of our mouth, we start kind of looking a little bit like Pac-Man. Sometimes we're opening it too wide, we're shutting it too much. The nice part about the mask is that it's kind of kept everything very stationary. Because if you drop your jaw up and down, your mask does what? It goes down, it gets out, it kind of pushes up or down, right? Exactly. So that it doesn't change the singing space, it keeps your jaw from flapping around. So I'm trying to give you the benefits so that you can have some positive things to look at. And always, here's the thing, we talk about telling the singers to have an inside smile, to have that lift, because the nasopharynx goes all the way back here to the ear canal. I mean, all this space right here is your mask, your singing mask, this part, right? And we're always telling singers, I don't know if you use this trick in your chorus, is you put your hands here and tell your singers to sing here, right? They have their hands here. Okay, well, now we're going to do the same thing, sing above the mask, right? Because we want people to sing more in their head tone and their resonators that are up here, right? All the holes of our face. And so by wearing the mask, now we can say, sing above the mask. It's the same concept. Just like this, right? And the other thing too, is that I really feel like some singers have shared with me that because they're wearing a mask, even if it's just a cloth mask, even if it's just a paper mask, they actually, because they're not flapping their jaw up and down, they're actually able to hear their resonance and feel this resonance, which I think is essential to our singing, right? We can really feel that kind of vibration and they can hear it right here because the sound is kind of getting, if you take your hands and kind of put them behind your ears, now put them towards your mouth and start talking. Can you feel how that resonance, how that's vibrating? I sound very loud right now. So my mask, if you just go down a little bit, just a little bit right here by the ears, now there's your mask. So you can hear a little bit of that vibration. You can hear some of it and you can feel some of that resonance and it actually feels louder, right? So the other thing it does, it stops our singers from singing so loud, right? From not pushing. Because everything is about tension-free singing and relaxing when they're singing. Another thing too is I think that cloth masks and surgical masks, they don't provide this airtight fit that they're talking about. You know, the CO2 still escapes through the air. It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. We're talking about the molecules are very small and air just gets out. However, the respiratory droplets that we're talking about with the virus, they're bigger. So they're not going to get out as much of those masks, not like your own air. A lot of people have asked, does it harm your health to be breathing behind the mask? The answer is no. I've asked my own neurologist, my own cardiologist, my own doctor, and I also have a nurse practitioner in my chorus who is a specialist in infectious disease. If you have a mask on and you're breathing in your own air, that is not going to hurt you. It may feel like you're kind of like short of breath, but I think what you need to do is more relaxation, and take more breaths if you need to. So take more personal breaths, which we always do anyway. I think that's important too. But I thought it was interesting in asking physicians about that because so many people were concerned. And I thought it was worth asking the question. As you are singing, if your mask gets wet, make sure you have another one. That's simple. Do not try to keep singing with it on. Either throw it out or get another one. Just come prepared for a rehearsal that you have multiple masks. If you have a cloth one, you wash it when you get home. That's what I would do anyway if I'm out shopping now. But if you have the paper ones, you can just have disposable ones. It's not a lot of money to have a box of them, right? So if it gets wet, get rid of it. Do not keep singing in it. That's the other thing too. That's a little bit more, I think there's more bacteria, more viral issues with that as well. The masks that are designed with an internal frame, okay, like the singer's masks. I can only see the top strip, but how many of you have the singer's mask in my strip? Yeah, yeah. So that internal frame with that with the larger cavity in it, obviously the sound is going to be better for the people on the outside. It'll be better for you too. But it does has the same effect. I've tried on a singer's mask that I can actually hear myself even more. It's on those because they're really far out. So now I can feel the vibration. Not only can I feel the resonance, can I hear the sound? And again, it stops you from over singing because you can't be flapping your jaw up and down. So important to remember that, right? And I just read a scientific article about it. And if you visualize the exhaled breath of a singer or an instrumentalist, the aerosol component of the breath wafts upward, not out. It goes up into the airspace. And that's why making the adequate ventilation and airflow, right, is so important for us as singers. So if you're in a facility, okay, that doesn't have a tall ceiling, that doesn't have the ventilation necessary, that becomes a little bit more dangerous. It's interesting. Chorus in my region rehearsed in the same space that my chorus did the following week, and I don't know what happened with them, but we were very careful and we were bigger and someone had a breakthrough. Well, it was because it was the first week when things started to get bad again, right? And so we want to make sure that we understand the concept of the aerosols. Again, molecules of air are smaller than the aerosols. Very important to know that. So your mask issue has nothing to do with necessarily, you're protecting other people, you're not hurting yourself. And I really feel like that's something we really, in Sweet Adelines and as singers and performers, that we really need to kind of grasp the concept of that. And I just want to make sure that we know that it's not harming us if we are breathing in our own air inside that singer's mask. Again, I double checked all of that. And I want to make sure that that we stay positive about it, because I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be part of our lives for a little longer. Okay, so what I need to do is somebody is on the Jean Stolting. You've got yourself on the whatever they call that spotlight. You're very pretty though, very nice on the spotlight. But we want to go to make sure. I see that there's a question. The chat room just drives me crazy. So let me see what's here. I don't see her. Is there anything there? Katie is muted. Yeah, we figured that out a long time ago.
I'm monitoring chat. There is nothing in chat right now.
Good. Okay, so here's the thing. You have the opportunity right now to ask any vocal question, any concern about singing the mask, want me to go back to one of the exercises to explain it. I don't care what you want me to do, but you've got, I believe it's 15 minutes. Yes, Marion?
Yes, 15 minutes.
Okay. So you have 15 minutes to talk to me. Go. Anybody? Yes. Oh, you're not raising your hand. Any vocal production issue, any concerns about your singing, any concerns, any exercises that you'd like to have for any type of vocal production issue?
Somebody would like an exercise for strengthening the Passaggio. Okay,
very good. Here we go. So very simple, not hard to do. So you're going to go, it's mid-ranging. So it's Passaggio right at middle C. That's where I was. Okay. So it'll be, I'll do it slower. It's that is one way, but you're going to do it faster. Lots of air through that. Okay, that's one exercise. I've got a million of them. The next one is going to be a 1, 3, 5, 8 exercise. And the first words are, or vowel sounds are going to be ni, ah. I'm going to start. It's 1, 3, 5, 8. Come back down. Ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah. So what I'm doing is I'm going right through my break, connecting the lower register to the upper register. Don't be afraid of it. Just go. Ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah. Here we go. Ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah. Ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah, ni, ah. That's the first one. Now come back down. Put these vowels together. La and oo. L is in Larry. La oo, la oo, la oo, la oo, la oo, la oo. Same exercise. La oo, la oo, la oo, la oo, la oo, la oo. So we're going to continue to do that. So it's la and oo. Go right through that midsection. Come back down. I'm right around E flat above middle C. That's where I'm starting. Going down to low A flat. The next one's going to be mayo, like mayonnaise. M-A-Y-O. Mayo, 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 mayo. So you can kind of hear me transitioning, but hopefully not too much because my mom paid a lot of money for me to learn how to do this. Mayo, 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 mayo. Mayo, 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 mayo. So it's important that we try to sing through the passaggio or through the break in our voice as best we can without pushing. Those NG exercises that I did earlier are also very, very good. And then that little fast run there. Here's the one that's going to be a little bit more painful to do if you're someone who has a very severe break in your voice. It's going to be more sliding through it. So you're going to go up and then walk it down. And then slide. And on that slide is where you're going to hear it worse. The person who asked the question, are you brave enough to get on with me and do it?
And we do have a bunch more questions too, Katie, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll wait. Okay, go ahead. What are the other questions?
Okay. What is the best way to get someone to feel singing in the mask if they are having issues keeping it there and don't realize it?
Oh, good question. Here's the thing. Does it feel easy? Does it sound easy? Are you able to do things that you never thought you could do before? Some of it has to do with practicing, exercising, building stamina. People who are not singing correctly in the mask or that are not resonating correctly, they're singing from their throat, they're going to find fatigue and become hoarse. And you're not going to be able to hit notes that you should be able to. See, that's the thing. If we never try to expand our range, ever try even little half steps at a time, then it never will. And then the range that we actually sing in is not going to be as good, right? So we need to try to go as far as we can on both ends of the spectrum, low and high, without hurting ourselves. I think that people need to experiment and also have somebody listen to them. If you have a voice teacher in your chorus or nearby, have somebody work with you and again, give you some of these exercises. It's just one of those things where people just have to feel it. Singing is a feeling. It's not like I know this. It's singing is a feeling. I know I can feel that there. I know I'm in a mixed voice right there. I mean, I just know by the way it feels. I hope that answers that question.
Okay, next one. You said your nose often runs when you do vocal warm-ups. I often get plugging of one or both ears.
Okay, so that means you're putting too much pressure on your sound. Okay, in other words, the air pressure, you're almost like using too much air, forcing it to be too forward, and that's why your ears feel clogged up. It's happened to me before too. You have to be very careful of that. So the other thing too is if the nasal cavity has any kind of blockage or anything like that, you want to be able to do some more saline rinses, that kind of thing, to make sure everything is open before you sing. But some of it is the air pressure that's coming up, and you're singing probably too hard right here in the mask of your face. You're probably shoving it right into your nasal cavity. So you want to be very, very careful of that.
Okay. An exercise for holding notes. Breath runs out often on notes that need to be held. And she put a smiley, like she's the only one who's ever had that happen. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. We know we have to have a good breathing exercise to do that too, right? So one of my favorite things to do, and it's going to be hard to demonstrate for you, so because I'm sitting up high and I can't show you down low, but I usually have my voice students come and they lay on the floor with a small pillow behind their head, okay? And then they put their hand, let me back up a little bit here, one hand on the upper and lower abdomen. I don't think I can get back far enough, hold on. Okay, what I do is I'm going to breathe all that air into my hands. And then I'm going to pop a teeny tiny hole in a balloon. And this is what's going to happen. So let me do it first. Now I can go on forever, so I'm not going to do that. But the point is that you have control of that air. You don't need to push it. You don't need to clutch the breath. This should feel very soft and relaxed, even after you've inhaled. You don't need to hold it tight. There should be no contraction of the muscles. Breathe into your hands, expand your belly. Let it go. Now, the question is, let me answer. So now she's saying, well, how is that going to help me hold my breath? Because there's an awareness now of how much control you have of that air. Another thing to do is counting. Very simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Take that breath again. Now I want to go to, I don't know, let's go to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Making sure you're taking that same breath every time. Go to 9, go to 12, go to 15. Every day, go one number further. So now we're also building the muscle memory of the breath. There's one more exercise I like to do with my students. So it's just an oo vowel, o vowel, e vowel, ah vowel. It doesn't matter what the vowel is. So it'd be take that breath, relax. So all I'm focusing on is right here, practicing in expanding and then beginning to sing. Then you're going to add, take a good breath. So each time you're going to add a little bit more of a run of that little exercise. And it's just, okay. The other thing you can do is be your own private voice teacher. Gently place your hand right here where the larynx is. Okay, gently place, do not strangle yourself. Okay, other hand on your lower abdomen. Now, concentrate on the lower abdomen. Okay, all you should feel here is vibration. You should not feel things moving around. If you have any muscles moving around in there, then you're doing it incorrectly. Okay, so it's just a simple exercise. You can feel this. If you're moving your air through this column, you should only feel vibration. Okay, is there any others? I'm sorry.
Oops, one more question.
Okay.
Can you discuss the mixed voice again? I'm never quite sure what that means.
Sure. So everybody put your hand on your chest. So I'm going to go down. Sing. Okay, everybody just sing that for me. Feel a little buzz, feel a little vibration here. Sort of, not yet. Everybody feel that? Feel a little bit of that? The lower I go, I'm starting to really feel more buzz. Oh, there it is. Now that is really in my chest tone. There's very little head tone in that, okay? So we have the chest register. We have the head tone register. In the male voice, you have falsetto. It's hard for us because we don't have that same kind of switch like they do. But what we do have is we do have a chest tone. We do have a middle register, which is more of a head tone. We actually around B flat above high C, so above, sorry, middle C. So way up to this note, up here, that B flat, B natural, and C is called the bell register. That's a pretty way of setting. There's a nice Italian name for it, but it's the bell register is yet another little transition. So how fun is it that we know we do have kind of like the male falsetto, but many of us don't really go there except for the tenors, and that's where they kind of live, so it doesn't bother them. The worst one is the one that's right in the middle for most females, which is E, F, and G, right here. Right there, la, 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 right there. That's where many of us hear that break. So here's the difference. I can't sing that in total chest, but I can sing this note. I can actually feel that vibration. But if I come up here, it disappears. Everybody put your hand here and sing here. Feel nothing, right? So you better be saying yes. Right, so all of that has disappeared. So now I'm completely in my head register, meaning I'm resonating all here. There is no resonation in my chest cavity. Does that answer the question?
And there are no other questions.
Good. Well, then we're right on time.
We're right on time.
Good. So the best part about this is if you ever have a question, Karen has my name, Karen has my email address. Please don't ever hesitate to ask. Sometimes we leave these seminars and we go, oh, I wish I had asked that question. There are exercises, thousands and thousands of exercises that you can use to improve the different, what we call vocal faults in your voice. There's nothing wrong with having a break in your voice, nothing wrong with having any kind of, if you're worried about vocal fatigue, all these things can be worked on. All of them. So the mixed voice is what we used to call a head voice.
No.
Nope. We can still mix our voice right here. So for instance, I'm here. I have no head tone in that, but I'm going to just go up a little bit. I am mixing chest and head right about here. I can feel a little bit more vibration, can feel a little bit more sensation in the lower cavity with still adding here. So when I was in musical theater performing for 9 years, I had to sing in that voice a lot. Right? But we don't need to do that in barbershop. Lots of head tone. And then we can improve our head tone so that it's not weak, right? So that it's strong by doing exercises. I saw another question. Is there another one?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so we have to go a break and then I have to go to another class. But again, thank you so much, ladies, for coming today. It was like 62 of you. Awesome. And again, if you have any questions, any concerns, Karen has my information.
Thank you, Katie.